Hello and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Channel Sport This Morning. I'm Tayo Salam.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Cecilia Amogbe. Okay. We get started with the show, and of course we're starting with this news coming from Rangers. We've been waiting for it, right? Well, Imama Amakakpabo is no longer the coach of Enugu Rangers. He has been fired, getting the Ranieri's treatment.
Cecilia, what a shame. I mean, what a shame what has happened to Coach Imama and Rangers this season, but it hasn't come as a surprise to any one of us because it's been on the horizon for a while now. Coaching and managing in general is the most volatile and most delicate job in the world. So 1 minute you celebrated, the next, you can go from hero to zero in a very short space of time, basically. So that's the story from Rangers.
And also on the program, we'll be talking about the UEFA Champions League. It returns tonight, and the big one everyone will be looking forward to is Barcelona and Juventus. I can't wait.
For obvious reasons. I mean, that's the clash of the titans. Basically, 16 finals between those two teams, 7 titles, 5 to Barcelona, 2 to Juventus. You can understand why we're very excited for this particular match. But let's not forget, there's another match between Borussia Dortmund and Monaco.
But the big one is the one everyone is waiting for.
Fair enough, fair point.
Okay,
fair point,
humiliation at where?
Cecilia, I don't know. I mean, this particular result, let's move on the show now. Let's talk about Arsenal. The Arsenal, they traveled to Selhurst Park yesterday night and they got humiliated by Crystal Palace. 3-0. That's how that one ended. And this particular result has sent a lot of Arsenal fans into meltdown mode. I mean, Cecilia, the reactions obviously always over the top whenever Arsenal lose, but it's the manner in which they lost this game that has gotten a lot of Arsenal fans really riled up this morning, and that's 4 away defeats in a row for the Arsenal. Not good at all. The pressure is mounting on Arsene Wenger, and Arsenal fans are just waiting and hoping he doesn't sign a new deal, which we hear is actually signed, and they're just waiting for the right time to announce it.
When they get a very fantastic result, they will announce it. But right now, from all indication, it's not happening. We'll talk more about Arsenal, especially the tweets coming from Crystal Palace players. When you get to see that, you know it's not a good one for Arsenal.
No,
but then we'll start with the NBA. Some games
not good at all. Yeah,
home stretch in the NBA.
Let's do the NBA. Home stretch, basically, like I said, the playoffs start this weekend, so just about 1 game to go in the NBA. But a lot of games are played early this morning. I will start off with the matchup between the Cleveland Cavaliers, defending champions, against the Miami Heat, and it was a 124-121 defeat for the Cavs in that one. Tyler Johnson scored 24 points for Miami in that particular victory, and the Cavs, after starting April very well, they've dropped 2 games in a row now, and it looks like the old issues have started
again
to resurface. So we'll see how that particular how they end the season eventually. And that match actually went into overtime. So
Celtic won.
Yeah, Celtic. I mean, they took advantage of the Cavs lost and they defeated the Brooklyn Nets 114-105. Isaiah Thomas scoring 27 points in that victory for Boston. And the Celtics are now in control of their fate in terms of securing top spots in the Eastern Conference. All they have to do now is to beat Milwaukee Bucks in their final game of the season. That's on Wednesday. And I mean, Cecilia, that's a very there's a very good possibility of that happening.
That they can win that.
Exactly. Home court advantage is very important when you get to the playoffs. It is real. Home field advantage, home court advantage, however you want to call it. Very important. And the Celtics will be going all out to do just that on Wednesday when they host the Milwaukee Bucks.
And what happened to San Antonio Spurs in this one? They lost by just 1 point.
They lost. Painful defeat. But the Spurs are already second in the West.
They know they can be first, so they just consolidate on that. No need to
overstretch yourself, basically. I mean, it's all about focusing on the playoffs now. And they lost that match by 1 point, 99-98. That was against the Portland Trail Blazers. Noah Vonleh scored that layup at the buzzer to give Portland the win. And the Portland, they've secured the final playoff position in the Western Conference. They're 8th on the log and they will be playing the Golden State Warriors when the playoffs tip off. Elsewhere, the Warriors, Cecilia, they lost against the Utah Jazz 105-99. That's their 14-game winning streak over right there in Oakland, in front of their own fans, right on their own court.
And Kevin Durant sitting on the bench watching the game.
Yeah, but I mean, you can understand what these coaches are doing. For example, Coach Steve Kerr, it's not needed. I mean, everything, you don't want to stretch yourself and get injured. Actually, they rested the starters in the fourth quarter, and that's why they lost again. But still a good win for Utah, who are already through to the playoffs as well. So last but not the least, the LA Clippers defeated the Houston Rockets 125-96. I mean, what a rout that was. I mean, the LA Clippers are a team, the very dangerous side. I mean, whenever they're on their game, the likes of Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, they can hurt you. And that's exactly what they did to Houston Rockets in that particular matchup. So the playoff starts this weekend. That's what a lot of basketball fans have been waiting for. This is when, the big guys, the big guns actually come to the party, and this is where you get to know whether you actually have what it takes to win a championship. And the usual suspect, Golden State Warriors, and in the East, I don't know if you're going to still stick with the Cavs or you're going to go for the Boston Celtics.
Boston Celtics.
Fair enough. I mean, based on momentum.
On momentum, exactly.
On form,
so you definitely want to give it to them.
Yeah, so, let the games begin.
It has to start.
Still have one more game to go, though.
Just one more. How many games to go?
Just one
more games to go. So then we'll know what's going to happen at the weekend when the playoffs start. Now let's come back home talking about Nigerian Women's Basketball League. I mean, it's a basketball game, but then when you see the result, you'll be wondering, PlayStation or something. The scoreline sounded as if it's something different. I mean, you can't have a team scoring 19 points in the final quarter of a game, and you're wondering, where is this coming from? Now, we start with the champions, First Bank, 89-22 against Nasarawa Amazon. This is ridiculous. Delta Force and Coast City Angels. I don't know what happened to this one. Again, 86-26. And the last one, the one I'm going to talk about next, is the most ridiculous of all results I've seen in a long while. Ekiti Angels scoring the 19-win in the final quarter against IGP Queens. It was 100-19 points. That game should have been stopped before you get to that. Dolphins 97 and FCT Angels 60. You have Plateau Rocks and First Deepwater. Plateau Rocks beating First Deepwater. That's really a surprising one for me. And of course, the last one, you have Customs and GT 2000, 44-41. Now, this is more like a game. It was very close, but then a low-scoring game. Not a high-scoring game, a low-scoring game. But it's a lot better than what First Bank, did to Amazon and also what Ekiti. I mean, but then it has started. That was the opening day result of the Nigerian Women's Basketball. And today, the games continues in Abuja. Taraba Hurricanes and Ahip Coins. They have Zamfara Babes and Sunshine Angels also be in action. Oluyole Babes and Benue Princess also would be playing. Plateau Rocks and First Bank. Plateau Rocks, they were able to beat First Deepwater. We saw that. But First Bank, with the kind of scoreline they had in their opening game, you will know that you tip First Bank to win. And Delta Force and Dolphins, Delta Force will be thinking of how they will, continue that run. Ekiti Angels on Customs. Customs, it wasn't a high-scoring game for them, but Ekiti Angels scoring just 19 points in their opening game. They have a lot to do when they face Customs today in Abuja.
Oh, wow. I mean,
and the result,
those scorelines.
Fantastic scoreline.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Right? It's fantastic one.
Ludicrous scoreline. I mean, a lot of those games too one-sided.
Yeah.
And fans don't want to see that.
119.
Fans don't want to watch beat down in a basketball game. I mean, if that was a boxing match, the referee would have stopped it a long time ago. Yeah, but it's not boxing. It's basketball. You play to the end.
Give them a chance. 119. Well, it's cool. It's cool. But the thing is, I love what MBBF president said talking about Tijani Umar. He says from next season, they're going to have a premier basketball league, a proper one where teams go on relegation. You have 12 teams. So you have the very best, playing at the premier level. Then you now have the ones who go on relegation. That will definitely help most of the teams.
Of course,
because the matchup is to one side, and you can't have a First Bank playing Nasarawa Amazon, so you're having that kind of scoreline.
And we're not even talking of just one result here. We saw the First Bank 89-22 against Nasarawa. Then we saw Ekiti Angels 19-100 to
IGP Queens.
I mean, there's 86-29 as well to Delta Force Coal City Angels. And this kind of fans don't want to watch this. That's just the bottom line.
They love the fact that you have high scoring games. I mean, that's what is beautiful.
Not beat down
like this.
80 points difference. It's not good enough. But like I said, eventually when the Premier League starts, it's going to be
next season.
you know,
you have the very best
teams
competing
at the same level.
Best, yes.
Yeah, almost at the same level competing, and that's what will eventually help the basketball to grow in Nigeria. So that's about it now for the NBA. Cecilia, let's get on with the show now with